Hello, I'm Kris from the FPL Dude, and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video for the 2020-2021 season. In today's video, I'm going to build the best predicted team for Game Week 29. If you're new around here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and don't be afraid to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Now let's begin building the team. It's my first time ever live streaming. I just want to say that I really appreciate it for all of you that are here and are watching. I really do want to build the best predicted team for game week 29 here, because me myself as well is building the best predicted team for game week 29. I'm going to activate the chip as I have saved it throughout the whole season, so I believe now it is the right time for us to use it, because it's a blank game week. There are only 5 fixtures. There are not a lot of elite teams playing this game week, so we potentially miss out on a lot of players if we just continue to do it without using a free hit. To take a look at the fixtures now before we are actually able to build a team, we could potentially take a look at Fulham against Leeds United. Now this is a very tricky fixture. I believe that both teams offer us very low clean sheet potential. Both teams offer us some attacking FPL return potential, mainly because Fulham's offense is very bad, Leeds defense is very bad, and Fulham's defense is very good, and Leeds offense is very good as well. So this is going to be very tricky, but I believe that both teams are actually perhaps going to score a goal, but I'm going to trust a Leeds defender this one. To be honest, I'm going to go for Dallas, but I'm not going only because of his clean sheet potential. I mainly go for his attacking FPL return potential, as he has been phenomenal and fantastic player this season. I believe him to be able to do good. Now, hello MT, hello. Yes, Dallas. As you can see, Dallas here, I'm going to show you exactly where he has started this season. Dallas has started in few various positions, and he has actually started 12 times as a midfielder and only 9 times as defender left, 8 times as defender right. So these are not the times he has started, but times he has played. So yes, he mostly plays as a midfielder this season, so that means he does offer us increased attacking FPL return potential, and I'm actually going to go for Dallas on this one. The next player I'm going to take a look at from these two teams is actually going to be a Fulham player, but before that I just want to take a look at all of the Fulham's player they have and how they have done this season. We're going to take a look at their key stats since game week 1. Fulham has done very good and bad this season. I don't know what to say. They potentially go and beat very good teams, but then they lose it to very easy opponents. But I believe that this game week is going to be a bit different, because they play against Leeds. Leeds' form have been a bit up and down. Bamford's form have been up and down. The only good player they have has been Rafinha. But enough about Leeds. We take a look at Fulham right now. Their best player this season has been Areola, Aina, and Adarabioyo. These are all defenders except Areola. He's a goalkeeper, but that goes to as defenders basket, as when they get clean sheet they get extra points. The only player that has done very good and is not a defender has actually been Lookman. Now when we take a look and compare him to the rest of the Fulham players, we can clearly see that he has been their best attacking minded player this season, even though he is not a striker and he has not been playing as a striker, but he still offers excellent attacking FPL return potential. He has 47 attempted assists, 57 shots out of 4 goals, 3 FPL assists, but I believe that is only going to increase in the next couple of game weeks, especially now this game week, because they do play very easy opponents. And I'm going to go for Lookman on this one. So yeah, these are the two players I'm going to have for this team at least right now. The next fixture to take a look. I do not want to go for Rafinha because, as I said, Fulham's defense have been pretty good now in the last couple of games. If we only take a look at the form of all Premier League teams, now Fulham have actually allowed only 2 goals in the last 5. So yes, their defense have improved a lot. They even beat Liverpool away, and yeah, they lost to Tottenham, but only 0-1. That was nothing terrible. And yeah, all of the other fixtures do look good. The only problem Fulham seem to have is their attacking possibility. They do not seem to score a lot of goals. As for Wolves, they have been okay as well, but Fulham had 3 goals to allowed. So yes, this is a team I'm going to go for. I believe that Fulham have perhaps a bit more chance to score against Leeds than Leeds has to score against Fulham. This is the main reason I'm going for Lookman over Rafinha on this one, or Lookman over Bamford, and I'm going to need that space of attackers for other players. The next fixture should have been Tottenham against Southampton, but Tottenham against Southampton have failed to happen, and it's Aston Villa against Tottenham instead. But Brighton against Newcastle play next after Fulham and Leeds. I believe that Newcastle's form have actually been terrible now in the last couple of games. They've scored only 3 and they've managed to allow even 7 goals. So yes, perhaps we should target Newcastle opponents. And this one, Brighton have excellent potential to do good. Brighton have excellent potential to do good defensively. As you can see, Brighton's form and seasonal form have not been that bad. They've scored only 3, allowed 6. That's similar to Newcastle, but it actually happened because Brighton had a lot of tough fixtures. They've lost all of the fixtures now in the last couple of games and draw. They have no wins, but I believe this is the right time for that to change. Brighton offers few good players to go for. I'm actually going to go for one of their defenders right now. I'm going to go for Dunk. You could potentially even go for some other defenders. They offer us a lot of good defenders, this Brighton team, and a lot of them are starters. The next one I could recommend for you to go for is actually White. He has been a very good and excellent player this season as well. I believe him to be able to do damage same as Dunk, but we could potentially change them out later. Is to wait and see. The next player I'm going to go for is going to be Grob or Gross. I don't know exactly what he's called, but he's an excellent player. He has not been playing the whole season yet. He still managed to be the second midfielder from that Brighton team by total FPL points. Enough about Fulham. Brighton. Now, when we take a look at Brighton, we see that Maupay have been the best player, then it's Dunk, mainly because of that clean sheet potential and because he did manage to score 3 goals out of 25 attempted shots. The next player have been Trossard, and then there is Gross or Grob with around 300 less minutes than Trossard and Maupay, but he still is around 73 FPL points. I believe that he offers excellent attacking FPL return potential. As you can see, he is a player that likes to take a lot of shots. He has 23 since the beginning of the season, and he has 51 attempted assists, so he is their most creative player. I believe him to be able to do better than Trossard. Let's just take a look at the last 8 to 10 fixtures, which of them had done it better. Sanchez have improved a lot, mainly because he did started getting starts for Brighton after a couple of game weeks. He did not manage to start at the beginning of the season. Hello, funny cute animals. And yeah, so now I just want to compare Trossard and Gross for the last 8 games. When it comes to total shots taken, they have around the same amount, but we can clearly see that Gross is actually 1 goal less than Trossard. While when it comes to attempted assists, Gross has almost triple the amount as Trossard has. So I really do believe that this is going to be a good game week for Gross instead of Trossard. He does seem like the better player out of these two and the player that offers a bit higher XA and XG combined. So yeah, Gross is going to be our player to go for this game week, and I'm actually going to go for one of their strikers. Now I could potentially skip to start all Brighton players. I do not want to triple up on Brighton, but I really want to have an all-around balanced team where every player that I have offers some potential to do good, whether that be defensive wise or attacking wise. But I could potentially try to go for Maupay on this one. I really believe that Brighton is going to win this one. Newcastle have been out of form, especially without Wilson. He might make a comeback now in game week 29, but he is not fit enough to do good. I believe that they are going to lose in this one. And they are very cheap to go for as well, so you could potentially save those money for some other players you could potentially invest. The next fixture we're going to take a look at are West Ham against Arsenal. So yes, no, I'm not going to go for any Newcastle player. That's something I forgot to mention. I'm not going for any Newcastle players. Sanchez is a very good football player, funny, cute animals, yes. Perhaps I could go for him as a goalkeeper as well. West Ham against Arsenal is going to be our next fixture to target. Both teams are surprisingly weird. I have to say that they have some attacking FPL return potential, some defensive, but it's not that high. West Ham have scored 8 goals and allowed 3 now in the last couple of games. Arsenal have scored 8 and allowed even 6. So Arsenal's defensive form have decreased, while West Ham's defensive form have increased and their attacking potential has increased. So I believe that this game could potentially end up blank. It's a big question mark. I cannot say how this game is going to end. It's a bit tough one, but both teams have attacking FPL return potential and both teams seem to have clean sheet potential in this one. I might even go for 2 of their defenders from the both teams, and it just has to be Cresswell. If I want to go for some of their defenders, it has to be Cresswell. I mainly go for this player because of his attacking FPL return potential, as we have seen that Arsenal have not been that good now in the last couple of games. So yes, Cresswell does seem to offer us excellent attacking FPL return potential and still seem to offer us some slight clean sheet potential. And yes, as I've seen here, Bale. Yeah, perhaps Bale. I'm going to take a look at Tottenham's fixture list. So I could potentially even go for Bale. I'm going to make comparison between Bale and Son, to be honest. I'm not sure which of them offers better potential. I'm afraid Bale offers just too little minutes to focus on, and Son is a bit out of form. But I'm going to make a bit of a more detailed comparison of which of these two should potentially do good. It will happen around the end of the video when we talk about the last fixture. Oh, it will be soon, actually. We talk about West Ham and Arsenal, then Aston Villa and Tottenham. Yeah. So for the West Ham team, I'm going to go for Kris. Well, Funny Cute Animal says, will there be double game weeks in Fantasy Premier League? There could potentially be few double game weeks in the next couple of games. I don't know which of them is going to happen. There is nothing official, so I'm afraid I can't say anything. Mr. Brown has said, I feel like Brighton Newcastle may end 0-0. Might go Dubravka and Lewis Dunk, as Dubravka may get save points from unclinical Brighton. It's very true that Brighton are very unclinical at the moment. They seem to be very creative, as we have seen here. Brighton have been very creative this season, and in the last couple of games they have few players that like to create a lot of chances, So yeah, Gross, Trossard, March, Maupay, Lallana, all of these players are a bit creative and most of them like to take shots, but they're just unfortunate when it comes to hitting the target or scoring that goal. So yeah, it might be a bad idea to actually go and triple up on Brighton. Hello, FPL Penguin. Yeah, I find him to be an interesting iterational differential. This Maupay guy, he might do good because Newcastle have been out of form and they've been very out of form now in the last couple of games, as we have seen they've allowed 7 goals. Same goes to Brighton, but Brighton did have much more difficulty fixtures, I believe. What is a good scoring fan? Do you mean seasonal or weekly or per player? I'm not sure I understand your question. I might change out Gross to Rafinha later on. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this, but it might happen. It might happen. I need to take a closer look at the detailed statistics later. So for West Ham in Arsenal, both team could potentially score, both team could potentially clean sheet. I'm actually going to make something similar to this I am already making. I'm going to go for Sanchez, as somebody already suggested. I'm going to not go for Dunk, and I'm going to go for Tiani. I just want to have that dangerous and more balanced defense. Like, I'm not going for any clean sheet potential out of these three. I mainly go for the offensive FPL return potential for game week 29. But if some of them now manage to bring back clean sheet, that's just a bonus to be happy about. So yeah, this is the team right now. Cresswell, I believe Antonio is a player to go here as well. He might not do best, but does seem to have excellent potential to do really good. Hello again. I'm sorry for my camera disappearing. That I thank you very much, Shadow Blackheart Music, for informing me about it. I'm so sorry, guys. It's my first time ever doing a live stream. I did not have any idea what was I doing when I fixed all of those settings, and it was a bit of a headache. Got all stressed, to be honest. But it's. I hope it's better now, and that you could potentially see me. Yeah. To continue building, I'm going to go for Antonio in this one as well. As I said, I believe that he offers excellent attacking FPL and potential. If someone is going to score from this team now, I believe to be Antonio or Lingard. Both offers excellent attacking FPL return potential. Leeds Fulham will be interesting. Will Leeds good attack? Fulham good defense. Yeah, that is true, and same goes the other way around with Fulham's bad attack and Leeds bad defense. So this is going to be very tricky and interesting fixture to take a look at. This is the main reason I'm going to make a bit more detailed comparison between Lookman, Maupay, and Rafinha. I'm going to bring in one of them is going to be benched and 2 of them are going to start. So I'm going to make a better comparison when we are complete building this team. I'm not sure if I should potentially even go for Saka on this one. West Ham's defense have been good now in the last couple of games, but West Ham's defense have not been the best in the last, I don't know, 8 to 10 fixtures. I just need to... I don't know, what did I do? Never mind. Okay, let's take a look at the fixtures like this. Or West Ham's defense. They've actually allowed 31 goals and scored 42, so they have been fantastic this season. But when we take a closer look at their fixtures, They allowed 2 goals from Crystal Palace. Nobody allows 2 goals from Crystal Palace. They allowed 3 goals from Liverpool. They allowed 1 goal from Aston Villa. They managed to keep it clean against Fulham. They lost to Manchester United, so they did not keep it clean. Allowed goal from West Ham. Allowed 2 goals from Manchester City. It seems like every time West Ham is playing against a team that has ability to score a goal, they actually do not manage to keep it clean. Manchester City Fulham 3-0. What a fantastic game. Stones, Jesus, Aguero. Stones is so crazy, man. He's scoring goals all the time. I don't know what is going on with him. He's like missing a game week, then he's starting to, and he scores 2 goals or similar. It's crazy to see that. West Ham and Arsenal. I could potentially just go for Saka, just to have him there, and I could transfer him out if I potentially go for some better player. It's time for the last fixture now. Aston Villa against Tottenham. Now, I have said many times Aston Villa are just pure terrible without Grealish. Grealish is fortunately making a comeback, or should potentially make a comeback this game week 29, but they do play against Tottenham and he will not be that fit. He has not played for a couple of game weeks now, so I don't know if Aston Villa offer us that good of an attacking potential, or they even offer us any good potential for these fixtures, to be honest. But I'm going to go for 2 Tottenham players. Kane is the one I am most definitely going for. He has been their best player, there is no doubts about it. Son has been fantastic this season, but Bale have been fantastic in the last 5 to 6 games. I'm going to make a comparison first between only Bale and Son. I want to compare them, how they have done and how they have done it. It's Kane and Son. Oh, Rafinha, Bamford, Kane. Yes, this is the comparison now. Since game week 19, we can clearly see that I'm so sorry for that one. Son has played more than double the amount of minutes as Bale has, earning only 1 extra point now in the last 10 games. So yes, Son has been not as good as he was at the beginning of the season. Son is just not as good player anymore, and Bale has drastically improved a lot now in the last couple of games. Now, Bale might not be a player you want to bring in on a wild card, because you do not want to get stuck with a player that plays 70 minutes and potentially even get rotated in some fixtures. You want to go for Kane and Son on a wild card, but just for a free hit and for a single game week to target, I believe that Bale could potentially do better. I just want to take a look at the last 5 games, and this is where I believe Bale has done much better than Son since game week 24 up to date. Before that, even Kane was injured, so the whole Tottenham's teams was down in form. Yeah, Bale has actually earned double the amount of points, almost double the amount of points as Son has for the last 5, purely for the last 5, and has perhaps half the amount of minutes. And he has scored 4 goals. He has 4 more attempted shots. He has far less attempted assists. Son has still managed to get 14 attempted assists. Bale has only 6. Bale has 2 FPL assists earned, and Son has 3. I just want to take a look at big chances created. Son has actually created 6 big chances now in the last 5 games. That seemed to be pretty amazing. He's a very creative player, but nothing got realized. He got 3 FPL assists back. Okay, so he got a lot of FPL assists back, but no goals. He does not seem to take as many shots as he seemed at the beginning of the season, as he did last season as well. So yes, Son could potentially do good because they do have pretty good fixture. Aston Villa defense have been up and down this season. They potentially managed to keep it clean against those mid-table to low-table teams, but when it comes to playing against tougher opponents, they manage to actually allow more than one goal most of the times. So no, Son is actually going to drop. I just want to bring Kane to this comparison and see how much better has he done in comparison to these two. Kane is actually at not as many points as Bale has, but he has more attempted assists, much more total shots. It's just surprisingly that Bale has earned more points, perhaps because he earned man of the match more times than Kane, so he got that bonus for. He got that extra points bonus. So yeah, Kane have been, but when we take a look at seasonal form, of these three, Kane is just topping the list, Son is second, Bale have just started doing good now in the last couple of game weeks. So yes, Bale is very informed, Son is a good player to go. I think perhaps Bale should potentially do better, mainly because he is in far better form and seem to be finding himself in much better position and situation, where Son seemed to have become that creative player that Kane was at the beginning of the season. So yes, I'm going to go for Bale on this one. To be honest, I know that I don't like Bale's style of play because he does not play a lot of minutes, but just this game week, I believe him to be able to do really, really good. So yeah, this seemed pretty much it. I'm just going to complete this team by building, the best cheap players to own on some of these positions. Fernandes or Aubameyang for this game week, to be honest. Funny Kid Animals ask Fernandes or Aubameyang. Aubameyang does have a fixture now, but Fernandes is the better player out of these two, or have been the better player at least this season. The next player we're going to take a look at, I'm going to go for one cheap player just to fill out those bench replacement shoes. Is going to be Struck. He's going to be the last bench replacement. Rafinha, Maupay, or Lookman are going to be my first bench replacement. I'm going to take a closer look at these three players very soon. I am not sure exactly of which of them should potentially be benched, but I'm going to take a closer look very soon, as fast as I find it. I'm not going to go for Saka on this one. I actually have the money to remove Saka right now and upgrade him to Aubameyang. Yeah, Aubameyang have done very good now in the last couple of games. I just want to find his name here on the list. Aubameyang, there he is. I want to take a look at the last few game weeks. Yeah. Shadow Blackheart music. I've had Bale since he started playing well. Hopefully he can do the same for you. I really hope he does that, man. If you own him as well now this game week, I hope he does well for you too. I trust him for this game week. I don't really trust him other days, but just this game week I'm going to choose to trust him. Messley Legend 65 says, hi Kris. Hello Messley Legend 65. How are you? All good? And yeah, for the last play I'm going to go for now. If you take a look closer, this team is very cheap. It's a very cheap team to go for. Even if I go for whatever defender I go for right now, I believe this one to be a very, very cheap team and very dangerous. Bale, Kane, Antonio. There are no not so many players to go and upgrade right now, except perhaps bringing Grealish, but he does play against Tottenham. Tottenham have been the team that has allowed... Where is the Premier League? Tottenham have been the team that has actually allowed 82nd by least goals allowed out of all Premier League teams. They share their place with Aston Villa. Both of them have a fixture less, then it's Arsenal as well with a fixture less, and they're playing it now in game week 28. I just want to take a look at Fulham Manchester City, still 0-3. Good game. Let's take a look and build the last player. Now, this player does not need to be someone very good, because you already have 11 players for this game week and have Rafinha, Mapai, or Lookman as one bench replacement. And Shadow Music, you can afford to go Alba over Saka. Yeah, true. I thought of that the same time you mentioned it. It is true. That is a very good thing to do. Aubameyang's form have been excellent, as I said, now in the last couple of games as well. As you can see, he has scored 4 goals now in 6 games. He does not have a lot of attempted assists, but he's just very little. And Arsenal's form have been good when it comes to scoring goals. Even when we take a look at Arsenal's like 10 or 15 fixtures, they cannot stop scoring. It's 1 point for like 2 months ago, they had 13-1 when we take a look at those last 5 fixtures. So yeah, this is pretty much Sanchez, Dallas, Cresswell, Tierney, Gross, Aubameyang, Bale, Maupay, Antonio, and Kane. Now, when I took a look at Gross as well, I think he offers better potential to do good than Maupay, to be honest. He has been far better the creative, and he is having around the same amount of total shots and shots on target as Maupay. So yeah, if they earn clean sheet as well, he gets that 1 extra point that Maupay does not, and even if he does score a goal, he gets extra points that differs from Maupay. So yeah. Now Lookman, I want to take a look at Lookman, to be honest. Once again, for the last 8, he has 18 total shots, 19 attempted assists. That was much better than many other players, to be honest. But now let's compare Lookman, Maupay, and Rafinha. Lookman, Maupay, and Rafinha. Just to answer you some question, I'm so sorry for answering you so slowly. Melis League in 65, I'm pretty happy though. I have Aguero and Stone in my draft team. Aguero, I believe he's about to do really good. He does not always do good after he makes a comeback from injury, but few games later he does seem to get activated and explode and do really good. Good luck with him. He's not playing now in game week 29, but he should potentially do very good in the other fixtures. And yes, they're doing really good now in game week 28. Yeah, that's why you're feeling good. I almost forget about it. I'm sorry. How are you, Kris? Are you not watching the game? I'm actually not watching the game. I'm just looking at some live statistics. That's what I mostly do. From time to time, I do watch the game as well. I mostly watch those games that I'm able to watch. I just thought this was a good team to make this video because of the timing, and we want to perhaps activate it and bring in some of these players before the price rise. Mr. Brown says, I think for me, I will go for Lingard instead of Lookman with his great form. It is true, Lingard is having a fantastic form. He even got rested against Manchester United, or he's going to get rested. I believe that he offers excellent potential for that game week 29, but it's just Tottenham. Tottenham's defense have been okay. They allowed 6 goals now in the last 5. That's not that impressive, but what is impressive is their seasonal goals allowed. And When we take a look at the last few fixtures, they made it clean against Fulham, they made it clean against Burnley, almost full clean sheet against Crystal Palace, lost to West Ham. West Ham is fantastic. What do you do? Manchester City beat Tottenham 3-0. So yeah, they might be vulnerable in the defense, but I just want to see how Lingard is doing now since game week 24. Uh, and to not take a look at Watkins and Lingard, both of them without Grealish. Which of them should potentially do better now or have done better? I just need to, yeah, we'll leave Lookman. Yeah, these are the players to take a look at. Which of them have done better now since game week 24? Lingard has done it best, to be honest. He has 2 games less than Lookman, 1 game less than Rafinha and Watkins, but he has still managed to do very good. His FPL assists are very surprising. He has 2 from 4. He has 2 goals from 13 total shots. So yeah, he is very little, to be honest. He has 13 total shots, 8 on target. So his shots accuracy is just pure gold. He has 2 big chances created as well out of 4 attempted assists. Look at Lookman. He's just creating. You were right. Lookman could potentially not do as good as these others do. Even though Leeds' defense is perhaps the worst out of all these players' opponents' defenders. Who are the best FPL captain option for double game week 29? It's a blank game week 29, and I'm going to discuss the best captaincy option very soon, as fast as I just find out who of these players to bench. But I believe there to be one player that has the best potential to do good in game week 29. I think it's pretty obvious, but I'm going to discuss that very, very soon. Do you mean blank game week? Yeah, blank game week 29. I would say Kane probably. That's the obvious one, yes. Thought on my team for next week. Meslier, Dallas, Cresswell, Target, Tierney, Bale, Son, Auba, Kane, Maupay, Maya. Maya is an excellent differential. I will add him to my equation. To be honest, he's a player I've been taking. I took a look at few times now in the last couple of game weeks, but look at him. He has not been that good. Even Lookman has done slightly better, and they have around the same minutes, with Maya being even rotated or subbed out in some of the fixtures. So you have Meslier, Dallas, Cresswell, Target, Tierney, Bale, Sonova, King. They are excellent players to own. I believe that Maya and Lookman offer us around the same potential to do good. Now Maya is a striker, so he might do better. Who knows? But Lookman has not been that bad himself. When it comes to X in XG, you can see that Maya clearly has far better XG than Lookman has, but almost they have even less XA than Lookman. But still, Lookman's XA is not that great. Even Lingard has doubled the amount. So it's a bit of a headache here, to be honest. It seems as Maupay does seem to be the weakest link out of all these players, and potentially even Lingard, but he's having a game less. Same goes to Maupay, but Maupay have been a bit worse than Lingard, to be honest. As you can see that Lingard has 4 attempted assists, Maupay has 8 attempted assists, that double the amount, but still Lingard's XA is 98 and Maupay's XA is only 105. They have this similar XA even though he attempted double the amount of... both have created 2 big chances as well. I know what's the difference here between these two guys, to be honest. Lingard has someone to pass the ball to and someone to actually assist, while Maupay does seem to be the main creator and the main shooter for that Brighton team. And just because of that, Brighton's perhaps pure terrible offensive form, I might even look to drop Maupay out of this team when we take a look now for the last couple of games. But there is one other player that has not done that good. So it's Maya, Lingard and Maupay that seem to be the weakest links. And Maya is actually a player that has played a lot of minutes and a lot of fixtures. So yeah, Maya is just a shooter, while Lookman does seem to attempt a bit more assists. So yeah, Maya is actually... I'm going to drop Maya. The next player, Rafinha, has been phenomenal, man. He is most definitely not going to be dropped. I'm just going to take a look at what do you say. Yes, Lingard is playing for West Ham. I might have said Aston Villa, I don't remember right now, to be honest. But Lingard is playing against Arsenal, yes. I might have said something wrong. Thank you for correcting me so I could correct my statement. We add Lingard. I really like Lingard. He's efficient. Well, there are players to pass the ball to that could actually score, like Antonio, Souček. Creswell could potentially even pass the ball to him. So they're very informed, good and creative. So yes, West Ham are actually a team to perhaps target here. Lingard over Lookman. Lingard over Lookman, but then I'll have 3 players playing against Arsenal, and Arsenal have not been that bad, to be honest. Lingard is on penalties as well, and Varhate Arsenal, says Mr. Brown. Yeah, Varhate Arsenal. It's a tough decision to make, to be honest. Maupay does seem to be an excellent differential. I don't know why do I have Watkins here. I do not want to go for Watkins against Tottenham, to be honest. His form have not been that good without Grealish. He's off right now. So it's Lingard, Lookman, Rafinha, Maupay. I want to go for Maupay because he is the only striker from these players, and Newcastle have not been that good defensively. Only that Brighton have not been that good offensively. That's the only problem. They've scored only 3 goals in the last 5. How many goals have Fulham scored? 3 goals in the last 5. Seasonal wise then, Fulham has 22, Brighton has 27. So yeah, Brighton does seem to be slightly better offensively than Fulham, even though Fulham has Maya, Lookman, Dekondrova, and few of these creative players. Rafinha is going to be benched as well. Rafinha is most definitely going to be benched out of all these players. I need to add another player to the equation, and it was Gross. Rafinha is going to be benched. He is going to be my first bench replacement because I want to go for a bit more balanced team. So if Rafinha is my first bench replacement and Gross is already playing, because I do not want to triple up in Brighton, I could potentially go for Lingard on this one. So yeah, I could potentially do this instead, and to not even go for Rafinha. I already have attacker, even though he's a defender, the Dallas guy. I don't know the Dallas guy. I'm considering suggesting squad for game week 29. I'm considering Regulion if Grealish isn't fit, as I could maybe see a clean sheet. If you want to go for any Tottenham's defenders, you could potentially go for their goalkeeper. It does seem to be the only regular starter, because take a look at Regulion. Now we take a look at before his injury, game week 20. He did manage to start one, got rotated, got started into, got rotated, started to, got injured, started to, get rotated. Plays against Crystal Palace, played against Crystal Palace, could potentially play against Arsenal. Then he might get rotated in game week 29. So I don't seem to. I want to go for Tottenham defender. I really want to go for some Tottenham defender, but I just can't seem to find any regular starter. I own Dyer before on a wildcat, and I got burned on a double game week 26 or 7. It was recently. He did not manage to play a single minute in both of the fixtures. It was just terrible to watch. He earned me 0 points. Got to go now. Thanks for this team. I'll be here for the next one if I can. Thank you for your time, man. Thank you, Shadow, Blackheart Music. Thank you for watching, and see you next time, yes? The 15 best players to pick before playing game week 29 Fantasy Premier League. Yeah, these are the 14 now. I'm going to go for Aston Villa defender just to own him there on the bench. He does not need to start. He's going to be the second bench replacement just for me to be able to complete this team. So yeah, Lookman does. Oh my god. This is very hard thing to do. I want to go for a balanced team. I could potentially take out Gross just so, but I believe that Gross has better potential than Lookman and Maupay. It's just a headache because I want to go for Leeds midfielder Rafinha because of his form. He has just been very good, but Lookman could potentially score because he plays against. Okay, I find it. I solved it now. Rafinha is going to be the midfielder, and Maya is going to be my striker. Unfortunately, I need to get rid of Maupay on this one. So yeah, this is a team that costs around 97 millions. If you want to go and upgrade some of these players, then you could potentially go and do that. I just realized something important here. I could potentially even go for Lloris on this one. I have the money, I don't care. I'm going to go for Lloris and then wait for the news on whether Grealish is going to start or he's not going to start, just to be able to get some defender from that Tottenham's defense. I have 49 points right now, says George from Mendes. Congratulations, man. That's excellent. And that's pretty good. I have 24. I have red arrows right now. I was 29,000 2 weeks ago. I got dropped to 59,000 the last game week. Now I am dropping even lower. It seems that Ding have been just catastrophe player to own. He offers some attacking FPL return potential, but that's just not far from enough. I'm hoping for Vardy to be able to do really good now. As you can see, I do not own Kane, and I'm not going to bring him in for game week 28, but potentially I will bring him in for game week 29. It seems like I have now been able to complete my team. I'm going to go for Sanchez if Grealish starts and Lloris if Grealish does not start. I'm going to go for Dallas, Cresswell and Tierney to be my 3 defenders, Lingard, Gross, Aubameyang and Bale to be my 4 midfielders, Maya, Antonio and Kane to be my 3 strikers. Target Rafinha. Rafinha is going to be the first bench replacement. Target is potentially going to be the last bench replacement. I mean, Strike is going to be the last bench replacement, and Target is going to be the second bench replacement. Funny Cute Animals is asking who has the best and the worst fixtures over the double and bling gimmicks. There is only a blank game week, and who has the best fixtures? It's very hard to know the best fixtures. I believe Brighton to have the best defensive fixture, Brighton to have the best attacking fixture as well. No, I'm so sorry. But all of the fixtures are tough. There are no very easy fixtures, but if we compare which team have greatest potential to score, then we could potentially say that Brighton have potential to score, West Ham, Arsenal have potential to score, and Tottenham. While these other teams might have a bit slighter potential to score in comparison to these I already mentioned. Brendan Bijoy says, I have 36 points plus Watkins first bench for Gundogan and Stones bonus points. Stones have been crazy, as I said earlier. He's a golden egg. He does not even need to start every game week. He just starts from time to time, and he goes on and he does Sergio Ramos thing again and scores a lot of goals. I have 24 says, but I have Watkins and Dallas coming in for Sterling and Gundogan. That's an amazing thing, Watkins and Dallas coming in for Sterling. I can't believe Dallas got a clean sheet this game week. He actually got a clean sheet against Chelsea, and Chelsea have been pretty good. They've been pretty informed. It's pretty weird what is going on, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players, and I am on 24 points. It's a terrible game week for me. I'm mainly focusing for game week 30 and onwards because I will be using a free hit now, so this will potentially increase my points for this game week, as there are going to be a lot of players that do not have a full squad. Football, I need to get rid of Sterling though. 11.5 million to sit on the bench. Bruno to come back game week 30. Do you not own Bruno Fernandes anymore, Mr. Brown? Have you sold him? Do you own Salah perhaps then? Because you could potentially go from Sterling to Salah. I own Fernandes on my original team. I do not own Salah, but I'm actually planning to bring in Salah now game week 30-31, to be honest. I hope they do good. Hey guys, before I move on, I would like to remind you to give this video thumbs up. It will mean a lot to me. Please don't forget, it will help it be promoted and my channel to get more clicks and views and similar. Yeah, thanks you. Do that. Leeds and Brighton for potential clean sheet in game week 29. Yes, Leeds and Brighton do have potential clean sheet for game week 29. I believe that to be true, and is the main reason I'm actually going for Dallas in this one, even though Leeds does not get to keep it clean in most of the games. This is the right one. If not now, then when. But I see my point now. Maya. I don't know if I should go for Maya or Maupay, to be honest. Now Maya is a good differential. Which of them is owned by least people? 1.2% for Maya. I believe that will increase tonight or tomorrow. And 3% for Maupay. Maya is even more differential than Maupay, but both are excellent differential to own for this game week. Mr. Brown says, I was one of the stupidest people to sell Bruno for some. Yes, I will get Salah most likely as he has nice fixtures. Well, Son plays now a game week in 29 as long as you did not lose a lot of money selling Fernandes. If you have not owned him since the beginning of the season, that this should potentially not be that good of a problem, because nobody could know that Fernandes could potentially do that good in these fixtures. I mean, nobody could predict that United are going to go in and beat Manchester City 2-0. Everybody expected City to perhaps win that or just give a fight in that match at least. A Downson or Cancelo. I believe Cancelo to be the better player out of these two. I just want to take a closer look at Downson. I really know a lot about Cresswell, but not as much for Downson. Cresswell, man, because he is an amazing player to go for, mainly because of his attacking FPL return potential. Just take a look at his FPL assists. He has 10 FPL assists, which is fantastic. Now we're going to take a look at all defenders just to see their defensive potential to do good. As for this page that I'm using, I think that I have to say that it's Fantasy Football Fix and it's wonderful homepage. I'm not promoting it, I'm not a member. I am just using it and I happen to find it very, very useful. Cresswell is actually 4th ranked player for attempted assists out of all defenders. 4th only to Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. Both of them have been just bombing the balls into the box this season from deep, from far ahead. Most of the times without any positive results. Well, Shaw has been by far the most creative player. And then it's Cancelo, surprisingly, after Cresswell with even 3 games less than Cresswell and a lot of games less than Robertson, Arnold and Shaw. I remember Digne being very creative as well. Now he's just, I don't know, he's not doing that much anymore. I hope for him to make a comeback as I own him on my team. Cresswell should potentially do better than Downson. Downson have good potential. I believe Downson has done good because of his potential to score goals, and he has scored even 3 now in the last 10 games. Would that be 1, 2, 3? Yes, he has scored all of his 3 goals now in the last 10 games, even though he has played 14 games. this season. This is very surprising and amazing fact. But if you want to go for differential and save the money, then Downson should be your guy. But if you have the money and you do not care that much about the budget, then you could potentially go for Cresswell. If you want to save money, Downson is an excellent player to go for as well. Rafinha should be an attacking threat for Fulham. Should he really? I mean, Tottenham did manage to score only one goal against Fulham. Fulham is the team that has allowed, I think, them to be fourth team by least goals expected to concede. I'm going to take a look at those teams defending goals conceded expected. Where is Fulham? Okay, Fulham have not been that great, but Fulham have not been that great since the beginning of the season. But when we take a look at Fulham since game week 20, they have improved a lot. They have actually improved a lot, and are one of the teams in the mid-table for expected goals conceded. It's just that their form now in the last 5 games have been pretty good. That's the only questionable thing about taking a look at Fulham defense. They've allowed 4 goals. 3 from Manchester City. Fulham could potentially keep it clean, but they could potentially allow goal here as well. Yes, I'm not going for Fulham's defense. That is going. I'm going to take a look at if there is going to be anything about this here. I have not taken a look at the set piece statistics. To be honest, I have not done it a lot. Meslier or Areola? That's the tough question, I would have to say, but let's take a look at which of these two teams have had more clean sheet in the last couple of games, or at least better chance to allow goal. So here are all of the teams since game week 20. We can see that Fulham is around 11.48%. That's not a percent, that's just an index to allow goal, while Leeds are far worse with 13.84. So yes, Leeds were around 2 or 3 index points worse than Fulham. Now let's take a look at the creativity. Which of these two teams have better potential to create? Attempted assists, Fulham has 99, Leeds has 98. So Fulham are surprisingly creative. It's just that they're not little. Big chances created, they have 9, while Leeds have 15. Both have good potential to keep it clean, but I believe Areola have better potential for this game week, mainly because of that bonus for saves made he has, and Leeds are creative team, so they will potentially take shots from time to time. So yes, Areola should potentially do better than Maslia on this one. As you see, I have Dallas over any Fulham defenders, but it's not because of his clean sheet potential. I believe that they offer us around the same amount of clean sheet potential, Fulham and Leeds. I have Dallas mainly because of his attacking FPL return potential, and is the reason I believe you should perhaps go for Areola, because he does have bonus for saves made, which could potentially be greater than Fulham. We don't even know if Fulham is going to even have 3 shots on target for Martina, for their goalkeeper to make the save. So yeah, this is the team, guys. I believe Kane to be the best possible option for captaincy. Um, Rafinha could potentially be attacking threat for Fulham, yes, but I believe that Fulham's defense have been pretty good. They are doing pretty good against these. They are very organized and are doing pretty good against these mid to low table teams. So I believe that he should potentially do much better. Um, Thank you for watching. I just want to say thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. This was my first ever live stream. I hope I did well. Let me know down in the comment section. Please do give this video thumbs up. I just want to remind you to do it once again. It will mean so much to me. It will help it be promoted and my channel to grow. Thanks a lot, guys, and see you next time. Yeah.